The Targaryens, they certainly cherish their family, almost as much as white wigs are their favorite. This familial affection, however, comes with a very severe problem. Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon fans often get lost in the details of the most significant family in the Seven Kingdoms due to all the incest, backstabbing, and the numerous Aegons. Not to include the Targaryens who are mentioned as important people in the Iron Throne's past, Game of Thrones alone has roughly 6 Targaryens presented as genuine characters. Things get considerably more challenging if House of the Dragon is included in the equation. The majority of the characters on this program are Targaryens, and they are all linked to one another either by marriage or blood, occasionally both, of some kind or another. The most significant Targaryens in Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon are included in this guide, so don't worry if you're confused about who's who in this endless dance of dragons. Jon Snow. Jon Snow, Kit Harington, who was raised by Lord Eddard Stark, Sean Bean, as his bastard son, is really the child of Lyanna Stark, Aisling Franciosi, and Rhaegar Targaryen, Wolf Scolding. He is the offspring of the union that sparked Robert's rebellion and ultimately brought King Robert Baratheon, Mark Addy, to the Iron Throne, ending the Targaryen dynasty. Before the events of Game of Thrones, Rhaegar is accused of kidnapping and raping Lyanna, who was betrothed to Robert. According to Targaryen law, Jon should be the true successor to the Iron Throne since she really fled with him and they secretly wed. Aegon Targaryen and Rhaenys. Children of Rhaegar Targaryen and his first wife, Elia Martell, were young Rhaenys and Aegon. During Robert's rebellion, the Mountain, Haford Bjornsson, brutally murdered them along with their mother, Daenerys Targaryen, the Stormborn, Dragon Mother, Chainbreaker, etc. The youngest child of Aerys II, David Rentoul, the Mad King, and his sister wife, Rhaella Targaryen, is Daenerys Emilia Clarke. She is the infant sister of Viserys, Harry Lloyd, and Rhaegar, and the last surviving member of the Targaryen family before Westerosi fans learn the truth about Jon Snow's parents. She had just one stillborn child with the Dothraki chieftain Khal Drogo, Jason Momoa, with whom she was briefly wedded. Since Drogon, Rhaegon, and Viserion were the first of their kind to be born after they were thought to be extinct centuries before the events of Game of Thrones, throughout the reign of Aegon III, she devotes the most of her maternal affection to them. Viserys Targaryen. The middle child of Aerys and Rhaella is Daenerys and Rhaegar's evil brother. After being sent into exile at a young age by Robert Baratheon's armies, he married Drogo to gain an army that would aid him in storming Westeros and assuming the Iron Throne. Although he screamed bloody murder that he wanted a golden crown, all he received in response was a pan of molten, boiling gold being flung upon his head. Rhaegar Targaryen. Rhaegar, the oldest child of King Aerys II and Rhaella Targaryen, was assassinated during Robert's rebellion and was blamed for allegedly kidnapping Lyanna Stark. Rhaegar had 2 children, Rhaenys and Aegon, with Elia Martell, a Dornish princess, before secretly marrying Lyanna. Aerys II Targaryen. Aerys II Targaryen, who is well remembered for being the Mad King, occupied the Iron Throne during Robert's rebellion. Jaime Lannister, Nikolai Coster-Waldau, a member of his own Kingsguard, assassinated him when he gave the order for his troops to burn down King's Landing with its residents. King Jaehaerys II and his sister wife Shira Targaryen are the parents of Aerys. Rhaella Targaryen. Rhaella is one of the children of Shira and Jaehaerys II. She was wedded to her own brother, Aerys, with whom she had 3 children, Rhaegar, Viserys, and Daenerys. Aemon Targaryen. One of King Mikar I's 6 offspring and a maester who serves in the Night's Watch, Aemon, Peter Vaughn, is a member of the Night's Watch. He is King Aegon V's younger brother, which makes him King Aerys II's great uncle. He is the only known Targaryen alive at the start of Game of Thrones, along with Viserys and Daenerys. He is also one of the select few characters to pass away naturally in both the HBO series and the A Song of Ice and Fire book series. Visenya Targaryen, Viserys II, and Aegon III. It's time to step away from the Game of Thrones universe and focus on the Targaryens who matter most in House of the Dragon. Aegon III, Viserys II, and Visenya are the three children of princess or queen, depending for your preferences, Rena Targaryen, Emma Darcy/Millie Alcock, and her uncle husband Damon, Matt Smith, despite the fact that none of them have so far played a significant part in the series. Only Aegon and Viserys outlive their siblings in the novels and grow up to rule their own kingdoms. Visenya dies shortly after birth. Dragons are last seen during Aegon's rule, earning the monarch the nickname Dragonbane. Jaehaerys and Jaehaera Targaryen. Jaehaerys and Jaehaera are the twin children of King Aegon II, Tom Glencairn, who may or may not be a usurper, and his sister wife, Helena Targaryen, and are yet another pair of young characters who still don't have much to do in the story. The two also have a younger brother named Maelor who has yet to appear on the program. Joffrey Valerion. Similar to his brothers, Joffrey, the youngest child of Rhaenyra and Laenor Valerion, Theonate, her first husband, makes it clear who his real parents are by the dark hue of his hair. He has been identified as Rhaenyra's child, at least in House of the Dragon, by the Gold Cloak Harwin Strong, Ryan Corr. Lucerys Valerion. In the last episode of Season 1 of House of the Dragon, Lucerys, Elliot Gryholt, the middle child of Rhaenyra and Laenor, or Ser Harwin, is murdered by his uncle Aemon Targaryen, Ewan Mitchell. When Aemon fights him with his own horse, Vhagar, he is traveling nearby Storm's End on his dragon, Eryx. The outcome is devastating regardless of Aemon's intentions. He just intends to scare his nephew, as Vhagar breaks Eryx in half and eats hapless Luke whole with a single bite. Jaehaerys Targaryen. Jaehaerys Targaryen, Harry Collett, or Jace, as he is called by his family, is the oldest son of Rhaenyra and Laenor Valerion/Harwin Strong and is expected to succeed his mother as monarch. He is now traveling to Winterfell in order to win the Stark's support as of the end of Season 1. Daron Targaryen. Daron Targaryen is the youngest son of King Viserys, Paddy Considine, and Alicent Hightower, Olivia Cook, who has so far been missing from House of the Dragon. He makes a fleeting cameo in the opening credits of the program and is thought to be in the Citadel. He is intended to assist his brother Aegon's claim to the throne in the Dance of the Dragons, so maybe he will make an appearance in Season 2. Aemon Targaryen. In a childhood argument over Lucerys' paternity, Aemon one-eyed lost his left eye, earning him the less than adorable moniker. He finally exacts the harshest revenge on Luke by accidentally murdering him with his dragon, Vhagar, turning him become a kinslayer, one of the deadliest taboos in Westeros, by killing him with his dragon. Around King's Landing, there is talk that Aemon could really be the biological father of Helena's children. Helena Targaryen. HBO's House of the Dragon with Targaryen. The second child of King Viserys and Queen Alicent is Helena Targaryen. She sees future visions since she is a dragon dreamer. She has 3 kids with her brother Aegon, whom she is married to. Aegon Targaryen. Aegon Targaryen, played by Tom Glencairn in House of the Dragon picture from HBO. The first male son of King Viserys to remain alive is also his firstborn child with Queen Alicent. His birth is ultimately responsible for the start of the infamous Dance of the Dragons, since Rhaenyra's claim to the Iron Throne was compromised by the existence of a direct male heir. In the season finale of House of the Dragon, Aegon is proclaimed king despite being a terrible little guy who likes seeing his own infant bastards engage in deathmatches and improvised arenas. Baela and Rena Targaryen. House of the Dragon image from HBO, with Phoebe Campbell as Rena and Bethany Antonia as Baela. Damon Targaryen and his first wife, Lady Lena Valerion, had 2 daughters, Baela, Bethany Antonia, and Rena, Phoebe Campbell. Her father's favorite kid is by far Baela, whose dragon's name is Moondancer. Rena, Baela's twin sister, has never been able to gain Damon's favor in the novels since her first dragon died while it was still a baby. Simply said, it seems throughout the series that Rena never had a dragon to begin with. Rena eventually succeeds in forming a link with Morning, becoming the last dragon rider. Rena Targaryen. In House of the Dragon, Rena Targaryen is seen addressing the camera. Picture from HBO. Rena, the only surviving child of King Viserys and his first wife Emma Arryn, Sion Brooke, ignites the Dance of the Dragons. The great houses of Westeros break out and start fighting in the brutal conflict that we have just seen the beginning of in House of the Dragon as a result of her father choosing her as his heir rather than his brother Damon. Over the course of her life, Rena marries twice and has 3 kids with Laenor Velaryon, or with Harwin Strong, but we've previously covered that, and her uncle husband Damon. Damon Targaryen. Standing and gazing forward in House of the Dragon, Damon Targaryen rests his hands on his sword. Image source, HBO. Damon was her rival for the Iron Throne prior to marrying his niece, but with the birth of Aegon, his claim to the throne was ultimately abandoned. Laenor Velaryon, with whom Damon first weds, is the mother of his 2 children, Baela and Rena. But when Laenor uses a dragon to murder herself so she won't pass away during delivery, he marries Rena, with whom he has 3 children, including Visenya, a stillborn.